Hello, and welcome to my channel. Vice Rhino here. Heidi over there.
Hi.
She had some carpal tunnel surgery. Shall we blame the late stream on that?
Yeah, that's
Instead of the fact that I couldn't find you might notice that behind me is a blue wall that doesn't necessarily look blue because the white balance on my webcam sucks. But there's a blue wall behind me instead of the normal soundproof foam stuff that was actually like the cheapest stuff I could get on Amazon and was probably flammable as fuck. So it was a good idea to get rid of it. And as part of those renovations where we had to clear everything out of the office and sand the walls and paint the walls and stuff like that, the boom arm that we have her microphone on, the mount that goes to the desk broke because it wasn't actually attached properly. That's on me. And I forgot that it
but
was
I
broken.
support you. I support you in your mistake.
Yeah, I forgot that it was broken until like 5 minutes before the stream, and then I was running around the house furiously looking for the other one that I know that I have somewhere. There's a mess in the basement, by the way, as I was like ripping stuff out of my tech box trying to find it. It's not a big mess. It's just I didn't have time to put it back together properly.
Don't worry,
And
I'll clean it up.
yeah, I also had to get her dressed for the stream because this is the day after her surgery, and for like the first 2 weeks, you're not supposed to lift anything that's heavier than like 1 pound.
Oh, is that what it said? 1 pound?
I don't know. I forget what the number is, but it's something ridiculously low where it's basically don't touch anything with that hand ever. And so it's like, can you help me put my dress on and my bra on? Not in that order.
He was so disappointed with that request.
Always. But yeah, so it was fun. And then yeah, so we couldn't find the microphone, so that's why we're using the lav mics today, which that's suboptimal. The sound quality is probably shit. I'm sorry for that. But yeah, that's why.
Thanks, Lord of
Uzkalak.
Uzkalak.
Oh, get well wishes?
Yeah.
Yes, we get the get well wishes. Also, I'm trying the Capagen thing that Cirrus has on his streams, where like if you send an emoji, it'll like pop up on the stream. I thought I did not have it working, but then I saw one pop up like before I hit start streaming, so that might work. I don't know. Got new notifications now, so if you send a super chat with a message, we should actually be able to read the message. If it gets to be long, it'll go off the bottom of the screen, but like short messages will show up fine. And yeah, no, the pride thing is not it's like that's not really the theme of the stream, but it's closer to the theme of the stream than my normal channel branding, so I figured I like Stream Elements has a new thing, and I was just like, okay, sure, that looks fine, and I just quickly did it like in 5 minutes yesterday.
You're right, I am a superhero.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I'm reading the stream.
You're reading the messages. Luigi got out of class early so they could make it to the stream, and then we started late.
Yeah, but maybe that's why they made it.
Because we started late? No, they got out of class early to make it. And then we started late.
Okay, well then stop ranting and let me start the book.
Okay, start the book.
Lost that love and feeling. Chapter 14. What do you do when you've lost that love and feeling? Maybe you truly adore your husband in the beginning, but now you can't remember why. Maybe you honestly admire his finer qualities, but now you can't remember what they are. He should work on those things.
Yeah. I mean, like there's the whole thing where like, oh, you changed after we got married or whatever. And there is something to that because like the dynamic of our relationship once we moved in together did change. But like no, I'm not saying it got worse. It's just it's just there is a different dynamic when I'm seeing you like once to twice to maybe 3 times a week to every day you're right there when I wake up, which is a beautiful thing and I love it. It's just a different dynamic.
With my elephant nose.
No, no, no. What does an elephant say?
Give me a cream bun.
And what does a baby elephant say?
Give me a cream bun.
Have I explained that on the stream before? Is this just going to be
Probably not.
something confusing to everybody?
Yes.
That's a joke from my father, and I use the word joke very loosely here because that was it. That's the whole thing. That is the whole thing. There's no setup or anything. That wasn't the setup, and there's a knockdown that you're missing. That was the whole joke. High five instant. No, it's carpal tunnel. She has carpal tunnel. Yeah, contrary
Yeah, but it's
to
so much cooler if it was a high five incident. Now you ruined it. Could have been a high five incident.
I high fived her way too hard after we made a really good dunk on Sharon.
Shit, I forgot to mark where it was. I'm also not right-handed. There we go. This is gonna be fun.
If somebody super chats $10,000, I'll give her a high five at the end of the stream. I didn't say which hand I'd use.
Ah, good one. Good one. Good one. Okay. Maybe you deeply appreciate his wonderful attributes, but you can't see them now. Maybe he needs to work on them. Like, come on. What do? Here's a statistic you might find interesting. According to an analysis of the National Survey of Families and Households, 86% of unhappily married people who stick it out find that 5 years later their marriages are happier.
So I tried to Google that. There is no information on that. Like I didn't search deeply. I read the first couple paragraphs when I'm titling them.
Yeah, I'm like, that does not sound legit
No,
at all.
it doesn't. The best. So she actually cites a source for that. There's a.
Oh, there is?
Yeah. That source is another Christian marriage book. And then I actually looked it up. It's available on archive.org, but you can't borrow it on archive.org, which is weird. That's the first time I've ever encountered that. Like normally something either is available on archive.org and you can borrow it, or it's not available just at all. For those of you who don't know, archive.org, it's the same company that runs the Wayback Machine for like archived websites. And I use it all the time because it's basically a digital library, and the way they do it is through agreements with libraries or something to like share their digital books. Anyway, it's a very useful tool and I love it. And they have legal problems because technically like archiving a website that they didn't have permission to copy is copyright infringement. So they're trying to make the case that it's like
They're
the necessary
historians.
service. Yeah, that's what it is. Like it's preserving the history of the internet. It's preserving books and making them freely available to people that maybe can't make it out to the library or can't figure out, because like libraries will often have a way to get digital books from them, but like every time I've tried it, it's like each library has their own separate service that they use, and it's weird and hard to navigate.
So weird to think about. Like,
so it's like archive.org is so easy to just go archive.org, search for book. There it is. I have an account. Click borrow for 1 hour. You get the book for 1 hour. And if too many people borrow it, you can't borrow it. And I've never run into that, but
it's so weird.
Maybe that's what it was with that book.
It's so weird.
My finer quality is that I let her talk.
Sometimes. No, it's so weird to think like in many years from now, people are gonna be like, I'm a historian. Let me go back to this webpage that was published on blah, 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 blah. Versus now, like historians, there's like papers and like, it's weird to think.
Yeah, well,
like historians will be digital.
Yeah.
So odd. Okay. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this today.
No highlighter?
No highlight.
Too many hands required.
Yeah. What do you do? Oh, there's the statistics that I think is bullshit. Stick it out. Yeah. If you're in an unhealthy marriage, yes, you can work on it, go to therapy, try different things, but if ultimately it's not a healthy relationship, please don't stick it out.
Yeah, like if both parties are actively working on it to try and make things better, then yes, sticking it out for 5 years is not necessarily unreasonable. But if like it's only one person actually working on self-improvement and getting better in the relationship and the other person's just completely oblivious or um not even trying.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, it still should be getting better before the 5 years.
Yeah.
So,
Well, no, that's what she says. If you like those who stick it out have an even happier marriage 5 years down the road.
right. But I'm saying that it should be getting better in the process to that 5 years and
Yeah.
not like, oh, we're working on ourselves. It's not getting better. It's not getting better. And it's 2 years later.
See, that's what I think is kind of fishy about these statistics is because she says that like 5 years down, they are happier than they were before.
Mm-hmm.
And so like that's reflective of a process of 5 years of growth and relationship work and development and
Right.
stuff.
But what I'm
But
saying is don't wait till the 5th year to decide.
yeah, but she presented that as though like it doesn't matter whether you're working on it or not, people who stay together are happier 5 years later.
Yeah.
Like that's the way she's presenting it,
Yeah,
but
no.
that's not the way it actually is, I don't think.
No. In fact, nearly 60% of those who rated their marriage as unhappy in the late 1980s and who stayed married rated their same marriage very happy or quite happy when they interviewed 5 years later. In comparison, those who discovered and remarried divorced again at a rate of 60%. So starting over may very well be the answer, as long as it's with the same man.
No. I think she's saying that like. So I feel like this is from a survey, rather than like an actual like maybe not like a longitude. Well, actually no, this would have to be longitudinal because they're studying the same people over a period of time.
Yeah, but just because someone gives a survey 5 years later doesn't mean it's an actual.
Okay. But no, what I was saying with the divorce and remarried,
Mhm.
I don't think that's remarrying the person that they divorced in the first place. I think that's remarrying someone new.
Right, but she's saying starting over only works if it's with the same man.
Oh, I thought you were okay. I thought you were misinterpreting that number to be like, oh, they divorced and then they remarried each other and then they divorced again.
No. This is the next paragraph. She says starting over may very well be the answer as long as it's with the same man. So just take a pause today. We stop our relationship tomorrow. It's a new relationship and we're starting over from scratch, I guess. Basically, she's saying don't get divorced. Just work on your marriage. Like, just stick it out.
Which, I mean, divorce shouldn't be the first option.
No.
Working on it should be the first option.
But she's also saying it only works if it's with the same man.
But that's not even what the statistics that she cited said.
I know.
Like, with the numbers she cited, at least 40% of remarriages are fine.
Yeah. All right.
Which is not insignificant.
Nope. Remember and return. In the book of Revelation, God had this to say to the church at Ephesus. Yet I hold this against you. You have forsaken your love. Revelation 2:4. Ephesus was one of the most loving churches in the New Testament, and yet somewhere along the way they lost that initial thrill of knowing Christ.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't be the church at Corinth, because that's the one that needed Paul to like spell out, this is what love is. You should probably try that.
Their love for each other and God had grown cold. As I read God's lament, I whispered a prayer. Oh Lord, how many of us women have forgotten our first love? We've forgotten the thrill we felt when we first met our husbands, the spine-tingling chills when he walked into a room, the heart-skipping flutter when he called on the phone, the tender wooing when we opened a letter penned by his hand, the electricity of sexual desire stirred with a kiss.
Is she allowed to talk about the electricity of sexual desire stirring with a kiss before marriage?
I don't know. know, but I'm like,
Because this is pre-marriage she's talking about, right?
I know, but she's like the tender wooing. Is he not wooing you anymore? Because that's not on you. That's on him.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere between taking out the garbage, paying the bills, running the carpool, mowing the lawn, disciplining the kids, and folding the laundry, somewhere among the mundane routine of life, we've lost the romance.
So I saw, tangentially related, I saw a post the other day that was, um, it was like doing the laundry and folding the laundry are two separate tasks.
Mm-hmm. They
It's
are.
like, yeah, yeah.
They are.
As someone who has gotten dressed out of a laundry basket of, I think those clothes are clean on many occasions.
They're mostly clean. How do we get it back? God gave the church 2 simple steps for the bride of Christ to renew her passion for her beloved. And I believe we can apply the same principles to renew our passion for the man of our dreams. Step 1, remember. Step 2, return. Remember what drew you to your husband in the first place. Remember how you tried to please him, capture his heart, and win his affection. That may have been 50 pounds.
So the thing that drew you to me in the first place was you saw my profile on Tinder and was like, maybe.
What are you talking about?
You were not entirely sure about swiping on me, is how I remember you telling me.
Well, what happened was you had one of those like younger pictures.
Not that much younger.
Completely different. He had shaved head, no beard.
Yeah, that was back when I had lived with someone who trimmed my hair for me.
Right. And then your other pictures were like full beard, hair, and it was.
I had a beard then.
I don't think you did.
Yeah, I did.
Anyways, you looked very
It
different.
was 2016. The beard is as old as my youngest child, which is 2013. So.
Either way, you look different.
Okay.
So it was one of those things where, what does he really look like? I don't know, because you look like 2 different people. But I liked your profile. And why did I like your profile?
Because I said I wasn't looking for anything serious?
No. You really don't remember?
No. I don't remember what was in my profile.
All the things that you wrote to turn people away.
Oh, yeah. The whole, like, I am vaccinated, LGBTQ friendly.
Yeah. Yeah, all of those things. And then you made me a spreadsheet and I fell in love.
The spreadsheet was the clincher.
Yeah.
We haven't used the spreadsheet since I made it. It's like an organization of the TV shows and movies that we want to watch together. And like we gave them each a priority rating, and then whichever ones had the highest priority between the two of us were the ones that we're going to watch first. And I don't think we've gotten through a single show on that list.
No, I don't think so
But
either.
we've watched Star Trek Lower Decks. We've watched Our Flag Means Death. With the Upshaws. We didn't do most of that together, but like I've been with you for a few episodes. And,
Yeah.
What else have we watched that wasn't on it?
We've watched most of Stranger Things.
We've watched most of Stranger Things.
Was
That one
the
is
top
on the
of
list.
That was the top of the list.
You thought, until yesterday, you thought we had watched the whole thing.
I did. And we started watching the Lord of the Rings series, but we only got a couple episodes in.
Yes.
Anyways.
Guys, make spreadsheets for your ladies. It makes them go sploosh.
Does. I was so excited. Remember what drew you to your husband in the first place. Remember how you tried to please him, capture his heart, and win his affection. That may have been 50 pounds and a full head of hair ago, but the young man who longed to be adored, admired, and appreciated still lives within his heart. He wants to know if he still has what it takes.
Have I put on 50 pounds and lost my hair?
No.
I mean, according to that one commenter, I'm bound to be like 200 pounds overweight in the next 2 years. Or something like that.
Well, it's a good thing they don't have to sleep with you. Let him know that he does. Bibs, you still have what it takes.
To do what?
Get me into bed.
Let's be real here. Getting you into bed is the easiest thing ever. It's getting you out of bed. That's the hard thing.
That is true.
None of your business just super chatted. What drew you to him in the first place? Ask my woman this. She looked for a way to said he's a sadist without saying that. It's adorable. Like, as in like BDSM, or as in just like general? I don't know. I'm not sure how to interpret that one.
I don't know either. Feel free to expand or feel free not to expand.
Oh, Renegade King says, "Hey Rhino, this is my first time in one of your lives. I've been in just popping or I've just been binge watching your videos lately. You're super entertaining. LOL. Also love the Puppo Cam. Welcome to the live stream. This is not even close to what my normal videos are. Okay, none of your business. Clarified BDSM. So yeah, this is nowhere close to what my videos are. So if you don't like it, don't unsubscribe.
Please don't leave us.
But I mean, I don't know. I always lose subscribers when I live stream. That's why my stream with Cirrus went over to another channel, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start streaming on my channel again. And so far, the whole series as a whole is net positive, but not by much.
Everyone loves a love story. Tell your children the story of how you first met and fell in love.
Not everyone loves a love story. We have spoken many times about how annoying it is that there are certain stories that they feel the need to shoehorn a love story into.
What do you mean?
Well, like it came up when we were talking about Pride and Prejudice, or not Pride and Prejudice. What's it called? My Fair Lady. We're talking about My Fair Lady and how in the book she doesn't fall in love with him.
Yes.
They felt the need to shoehorn that in. Shoehorn.
Shoehorn, don't bother me.
That's her OnlyFans. No, so the shoehorn the love story into the movie because that's what movie audiences want. It's like, no, you can just have a story. There doesn't have to be a love story.
Now I feel like My Fair Lady needs to be remade into like a female empowerment kind of movie and leave out that love story.
Because that's how it was kind of written originally.
Because it goes very well with Just You White and Reagan's Just You White. You'll be sorry, but it'll be too late. So, tell your children the story of how you first met and fell in love. Remember, special days such as your first date, your first kiss, or when you first realized he was the man you wanted to marry.
So, we met on Tinder. Our first date was at, like, some crappy little mom and pop restaurant in Niagara. It's actually pretty good, but
yeah, it is a good
restaurant. It's a bit of a dive though. But
no, it's not.
Yes, it is. But yeah, so I don't remember most of our conversation, but I do remember that you said something about because that's the thing with me is like at some point the question is going to come up, what do you do for a living? And so atheist YouTuber is not an answer that most people really like, so I try and find ways to soften it or whatever. And so we start talking about religion, and you started talking about how like, oh, Jesus was a good guy and with good teachings. I just, I might not like the Christians because they don't necessarily follow Jesus' teachings. They'd be much better if they did. And then I went on a really long rant about how no, Jesus' teachings were actually not that good. Like he tells you not to prepare for tomorrow. He tells you not to worry about anything. Like God takes care of the birds that get eaten by cats all the time. So of course he's going to take care of you, so that's why you don't need to worry about stuff. And he said to sell your cloak to buy swords. I said to bring my enemies and slaughter them before me. And you're just sitting there like, I'm talking about like turn the other cheek. So yeah, that was our first date.
Good time. Then you made me a spreadsheet and I fell in love. The end. On your anniversary, listen to a tape or watch a video of your wedding. That sounds boring.
My wedding was super cringe.
Yeah, but like even if we were to get married and I don't know.
I'm glad it's on VHS because I can't show you because it's on VHS.
I just feel like I would get bored. I'd be like,
It's because weddings are boring when it's not yours. The only reason people are at the wedding is for the open bar at the end.
No, but I'm saying if we were to get married and film it, I don't know that I'd want to go and...
person whose wedding I'm going to in like 2 weeks, just skip this part of the video. I didn't say that. I'm very interested in seeing you get married.
So I will continue. Steve and I celebrate not only our wedding anniversary, but also the day he asked me to marry him. I'm sure our son is tired of hearing this story time and time again, but he's never doubted that his parents are crazy about each other. We don't need to tell our kids stories for them to know that.
Yeah, no, they
We just
tell us to
gross
stop
them out
being
every
gross
day.
all the time. It's become a running joke that like the kids won't leave us alone. Okay, fine, we're gonna start making out, and then the kids leave us alone.
Yeah.
Well, my kids do. Your kids try and get in between us.
Cuddles? I want cuddles too.
Yeah.
So here we've got some quotes from her.
It wouldn't be a chapter of this book without the quotes from her survey.
I wish my wife would kidnap me for a romantic holiday, which we have never done.
Okay.
So why haven't you kidnapped her for a romantic holiday if you've never done it?
So when he says kidnap, I'm like, knock him over the head, drag him to the car.
Basically what he
And he
means
wakes up
is
and
just...
he's tied up on a bed in a hotel somewhere.
I mean, what's his name might like it.
Yeah.
What is his name?
Naramdaputs?
No, none of your business.
Oh, none of your business. Okay.
Keep up with your followers. No, but
They're
what
both regulars.
But what he means is he wants her to plan everything and him just show up.
Yeah, but that's not what he said. He said kidnap.
I
So
know.
I'm picturing some chloroform involved, bunch of rope.
I've settled for going to bed early so we wouldn't be so tired and coming to bed with no clothes on.
I mean, that's good too. I'm fine with that as well.
But it's like, if you want a weekend away with your wife, plan it. Why does she have to plan it?
Maybe it's that he usually plans it.
No, he said we've never done this.
Oh, okay. Well, then do it.
Right? Right, Zach? The wife of my dreams admires me and gives me lots of praise.
Stop.
Adam.
Adam?
Adam.
Oh, that's the okay. I thought you were trying to like make an allusion to biblical Adam or something. No, just Adam.
I think women need to understand just how critical it is that a husband feels like his wife's hero.
Chaz just says, I think it's impossible by definition to want to be kidnapped. Like this, spank me, daddy. I've been a bad, bad boy. Not really a punishment if you want it.
Or is it? We should try it sometime.
You spanking me or me spanking you?
We'll see. A man finds his values in accomplishments. I think a man feels more fulfilled when his wife shows and tells him how much she appreciates all he does and shows and tells him how much he means to her. You mean so much to me. I will show you later.
Okay. Puddles is just going to town on that little beef stick.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can hear all the slobbering noises coming, but like as she's saying that, I'm hearing these slobber noises. I'm just like, it's appropriate.
Martin Luther once said, "Let the wife make the husband glad to come home, and let him make her sorry to see him leave."
I mean, that's pretty progressive for Martin Luther. Is that Martin Luther or Martin Luther King?
He just said Martin Luther.
So that would be Martin Luther, who was not a good guy, but he had some very astute criticisms of the Catholic Church back at a time when that could mean the death penalty. Like basically, like do you know the story of Martin Luther?
No.
Yeah, so he's the guy that like wrote out a bunch of grievances he had with the Catholic Church, and then he went and nailed it to the door. That story is largely believed to not have actually happened, but he does have his, I think it's like 96 theses against the Catholic Church. So like there is a whole list of grievances, and a lot of them boil down to the Pope is sitting on a golden throne while the Catholics are living in poverty and squalor, and that surely is not what God would want.
How do they justify?
I don't know, but yeah, so like he was one of the first people to publicly point out that like, hey, the Catholic Church is corrupt, and like another big problem he had with, they were selling indulgences. So that's when like you can get pre-forgiven for sins that you're going to commit by giving money to the church. And a lot of times, like that's how the church would hire assassins to kill people that they didn't like their message or whatever. They'd like the assassin would give money to the church, and they would pre-forgive them for killing the person that they wanted them to kill. Or maybe that's a Dan Brown novel, but I'm pretty sure like stuff like that did happen. Probably
Oh,
not
it was
exactly
95.
95 theses. I knew it was 90 something.
Song of Songs. In the Song of Songs, the bride drenched her beloved in words of
That's
admiration.
not the only thing she drenched him in that.
Perhaps you would like to write such a song of your own. Dear Rhino, oh Rhino,
Like,
I love you so much. You're tall and handsome
Sorry,
and smart, and you dress me, and you don't comb my hair because I will not let you, but I still love you anyways.
So I actually tagged you on Twitter, my Twitter post for this.
Oh.
So and when you tag someone, it doesn't show up with their screen name; it shows their handle. So her handle on Twitter is Rhino Rider 9 or something like that. But anyway, yeah, in previous chapters of this book, I brought up how the Song of Songs is biblical pornography, like it's literal porn. That's in the Bible.
I like me some good porn.
It's not good porn.
Oh. Well, for the day it might have been.
Yeah.
Okay. How handsome are you, my lover? Oh, how charming, and our bed is verdant.
Oh, also, the couple in the Song of Songs, not married when they do all the sex stuff. There's a whole biblical poetry book about a couple fornicating. Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Like an apple tree among the trees of the forest is my lover among young men.
Talk about the time she goes down in his garden and
I
sniffs his
delight
dates
to
up close.
sit in his shade, and his fruit is sweet to my taste.
That's a blowjob.
Strengthen me with raisins fresh. Refresh me with apples, for I am faint with love. Where'd the raisins come from?
She deep-throated him, and those are the testicles. And then at some point, there's another spot where it's reciprocated, where he ventures down into the valley of her garden and
my
tastes
lover
of her
is
choice
radiant
fruits.
and ruddy, outstanding among 10,000. His head is purest gold. His hair is wavy and black as a raven. Well, how is his head purest gold if his hair is black? His eyes are like doves by the water stream. Sounds like a zombie. Washed in milk, mounted like jewels. His cheeks are like beds of spice yielding perfume.
You have captivated my heart, my sister, my bride.
His lips are like lilies dripping with myrrh. His arms are rods of gold set with chrysolite.
Sure.
His body is like polished ivory decorated with sapphires. His legs are pillars of marble set on bases of pure gold. Gold head, gold feet, like what the fuck? His appearance is like Lebanon.
Lebanon?
Lebanon.
He looks like the country Lebanon.
Yeah, his appearance is like Lebanon. Choice as its cedar. His mouth is sweetness itself. He is altogether lovely. This is my lover. This, my friend.
So, together in the garden of love. This is she speaking. Let my beloved come to his garden and eat its choicest fruits. And then he says, I came to my garden, my sister, my bride. I gathered my myrrh with my spice. I ate my honeycomb with my honey. I drank my wine with my milk. That's oral sex.
Mm-hmm. I got that. Now you give it a try and write a love song of your own. Got some more quotes here. A husband wants to know that he is the man of his wife's dreams. At least I do. I wish my wife treated me with respect and attention the way she did when we were dating. Looking nice, smiling, and being patient and kind.
Okay,
Are you acting the same way you were when you were dating?
looking nice is not treating someone with respect. I mean, like, to a point. Like, there's that conversation we had about like how I want to dress better when we're out together so that people aren't looking at us and thinking, how did she end up with that slob? Um, but like, I feel like that's not what they're talking about there. And
Yeah.
even then, that's not necessarily like, that's not me treating you with respect. That's just a weird hang up I have.
So for me, treating with respect in when we're talking about appearance is more like just make sure you bathe and you brush your teeth and you have clean clothes on. Because it's not fair to the other person to like, they want to kiss you and then you got stinky breath or stinky pits. Like,
I haven't showered yet today, and I slept in this shirt.
I still love you though.
Whoopsies.
But you know what I
Doesn't
mean?
she, don't you guys wish I respected her enough to put on a clean shirt for our stream in public?
That's more about them than me. But no, you know what I mean? Like, if you're going days without bathing and brushing your teeth and combing your hair, it's like a hygiene issue.
Or we have 5 kids and I don't remember whether or not I did that yet today issue.
Right, I'm not.
Because that does
We're allowed.
happen.
Yeah, it does, and I do it too. But like, I'm talking about on a regular
I know,
basis.
I know.
Like, yes, it is respectful to have good hygiene for yourself, first of all, but also for the person you have to lay in bed next to. Okay.
Mhm.
My wife is very good at saying thank you for helping out or supporting her. Russ.
That's it. That's the whole quote.
Cool. Okay. The woman of my dreams lets me know in plain English what she appreciates about what I do for her and the family. Dave.
I feel like that was a rather underhanded compliment.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh yeah, she lets me know in plain English.
Yeah. No, I'm like, do you not understand metaphors and like different ways of expressing things? Like you need it like laid out for you?
I mean, I do sometimes, but we know this. Like, there are times when you've done, like, you've said something or other, and then I've not done the thing that you were kind of pushing towards, and then I'd like sit down and be like, "Why didn't you do X?" I'm like, did you ask me to do that?
Yes, we do have that. But
Yeah.
typically when I'm complimenting you, you do not have that issue.
Yeah, no, I know. Like, that's the only time I can think where that would be relevant. Is
Mm-hmm.
and even then, it's not like this is something that we know about each other, and like you're kind of the same way. Like, if I were to drop hints, you might not pick up on them like that. We're both very literal people,
We can be, yes.
so like it's not like it's an upsetting thing that, like, last night when we got all comfy cozy or whatever, and you're like, "How come you didn't get my phone?" I was like, "Well, you didn't ask me to get your phone." And it was like, that's not an upset thing. It's just kind of like oh, it's kind of funny that we had that conversation that should have led you to realize I want my phone.
I love you.
Love you too.
How do I love thee? How
Let me
do
count
I
the
love
ways.
thee? Let me count the ways. I love thee to the depths and breadth and height my soul can reach, my
Wait,
feeling out
we're
of
counting.
sight.
Are depth and breadth and height 3 different things, or is that one thing combined?
Come back. I
I
love
know
thee
this
to the
this is a
depth
Shakespeare quote, I think,
and
so I don't want
breadth
to criticize it too much, but
and
like,
height my soul can reach. So basically
so
everywhere.
all that is one.
When feeling out of sight, for the ends of being and ideal grace, I love thee to the level of every day's most quiet need by sun and candlelight. I love freely as men strive for right. I love thee purely as they turn from praise. I love thee with the passion put to use.
Did she just copy the whole sonnet out?
Yeah, but it's by Elizabeth
Oh, it's not
Barrett
Shakespeare?
Browning.
I thought
No.
that one was Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Okay.
In my old griefs and with my childhood's faith, I love thee with a love I seem to lose. With my lost saints, I love thee with the breath, smiles, tears of all my life. And if God chooses, I shall but love thee better after death. Oh, I feel like this is a short chapter.
Is it? We almost
Yeah.
done?
Yeah. We just have our 25 ways to show your husband you adore him. I wonder if they're any different from the 25 ways to be romantic with him from last
I
time.
wonder how many lists of make a list of how many ways you can say you like things about him. Lord of Uzkalak says depth and breadth and height, but not length his soul can reach. I think breadth is technically length.
Okay. So 25 ways. Let him hear you thank God for him. Dear imaginary God, please.
If you hit the clitoris, you get to hear that, no problem.
That true. True. Hug him several times a day. Check. Always sit by him at gatherings. Check. We don't like other people.
Yeah, we'd have to go to gatherings first. Ooh. I don't know why this made me think of it, but we won the garbage wars, we think.
Yeah, we think.
I don't know. Well, did we talk about this on stream? Is
yeah,
this the
but I think it was
that we talked about?
No, we did, but I think it was like the earlier on ones.
Yeah, so we put our garbage bins right up against our house, which the neighbor's driveway comes right up against our house, and we do technically own like 1.5 meters of their driveway, like a third of it. And they were not happy about that, so they started freaking out about it, and we have a video of him freaking out about it. But like, eventually they accepted that we weren't going to move it, but he started doing things like he would park a trailer full of his garbage. Like they're doing renovations, so it's like all the construction garbage or whatever. He would park it like right up against our bins so that we couldn't access them. And so like, I don't know, it's just been going back and forth or whatever. But so my kids will walk the dog, and when they get back from walking the dog, they've got a little baggie of poop. They couldn't get to the garbage bin, so they just put it on his trailer. So his wife came over to have a chat with me last garbage day to tell me to clean up the dog shit from the trailer or whatever. And I was like, well, you know what? You have parked your stuff on our property so that we can't access our bins. That's technically illegal dumping at this point, since you've dumped all this garbage right in front of our stuff so we can't access it. So we're going to be looking into whether or not we can have you towed. And like, if they can't get to the trailer to tow it, they're going to have to tow your car out of the way first, and you're going to get the bill for that. I haven't actually talked to a lawyer to know whether or not this is even legal, because like there might be something where it's like we have to let them use the driveway even though it's technically our property. I don't know. Bylaws are weird. But after that conversation, like so the last garbage day, I ended up like I had to move his trailer, and like he loaded it up full of heavy stuff to make it hard to move. So like I just unloaded it and moved it and took my garbage out, and he loaded up with even more stuff this time. And it's just some like boards with nails in it, man. Like I can move that too. It's just and it's easier to like knock it down than to pile it up. So like it's more of a problem for him than it is for me. But last night, after we came inside or whatever, we heard him like puttering around outside, moving stuff around, and it sounded like he was like up to more shenanigans. And we're like, oh, what are we gonna wake up to in the morning? And he moved his trailer so that we can access our garbage bins. So we think we've won the garbage wars.
Woo-hoo. Okay. Kiss him several times a day. Check. Ask him if there's anything you can do for him today. Check. Right,
Yeah,
love.
can give me a handy?
A hand with what?
You know what a handy is. No, those should be called a Bobert now.
Why a Bobert?
Because Lauren Bobert was the
Oh,
person given
yep,
the handy over the pants handy in the theater. No, that was a carpal tunnel surgery joke. You're recovering from surgery, so use your hand that you're recovering and not supposed to use to do things for me.
I love you.
Love you too.
I have another hand.
I know. But that's not your dominant hand, so you're gonna like injure something with that.
Maybe I'll be more gentle because it's not my...
Do we want more gentle though?
I don't know. I don't have a penis. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, this is another conversation we've had a few times, that when it comes to hand jobs, I'm actually the expert there. I'm the best in the world at giving me a hand job. So like, there are other things I'd rather have.
Write love notes on the bathroom mirror, shower wall with soap. Okay, I'm gonna start writing love notes on the bathroom.
I'm just glad she didn't say lipstick.
Well, that's what I was.
That's something that some people do, and lipstick, I don't know why.
How do you write on the bathroom walls with, or the shower walls with soap?
With a bar of soap. I'm assuming she has one of those glass showers where you would actually be able to see that, as opposed to one of the like white insert ones.
But I'm like, then you're putting soap on the dirty walls with soap scum. No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, Sharon, no! We don't do that. No. White people. Smile at him. Wink at him.
Now show him how you raise one eyebrow.
Am I doing it?
No.
Have a special song. You're so far away.
Just you wait.
And Reagan, just you wait. I've got several songs for him, so start each day with a kiss.
No, that's gross breath. Morning breath kisses are a no.
You kiss me some mornings.
Yeah, on the forehead.
Yeah, still a kiss.
Okay.
Each phone conversation, no matter how brief, with "I love you," we do that 90% of the time. Even if we do like a callback, we still do it. It's like, oh, I forgot to say this. Call back.
Yeah, the times we don't do it, it's usually when it's like the kids are, like there's an exasperation thing going on.
Yeah, so
it's just like, just give me the wallet that I forgot, throw it in the window as I drive past.
Don't interrupt when he's telling a story.
You'd never get a word in.
I really wouldn't. Sorry, Sharon, can't comply with that one. Compliment him in front of others. You're so sexy.
Does it count as in front of others on an internet stream thing when we don't even see the people?
They see us.
I know. But there's a very big difference between live streaming like this and like being up in front of a podium with hundreds of people sitting in front of you.
I'll put it on the Jumbotron, okay? Ugh, sorry.
No, if we ever go to a sporting event and there's a kiss cam, I kind of want to be the couple that, like, just for fun, you're like, I'll go to kiss you, and you're like, no.
So,
is it to make a list of 25 things you appreciate about him?
No. My brain only read part of the sentence. So the sentence is, compliment him in private.
Compliment his privates?
Yes.
She literally laughed at my penis last night.
I didn't laugh at your
You laughed at my penis last night.
I didn't.
You did.
No, I didn't laugh at your penis.
Yes, you did. I came over to, like, hook up your CPAP machine or put water in your CPAP machine. And you laughed at it. As soon as you saw it, you laughed.
Because I wasn't expecting it to be in my face.
And surprise penises are funny? That's why women laugh at their DMs when they open them. True story.
Just, like, he had a t-shirt on, and then he came over.
This t-shirt, because I slept in it.
To, like, help me with my CPAP. And then there's a penis poking out under the t-shirt. Like, I just wasn't expecting a penis in my face.
Josh Coolmare is saying, was it whistling? Whistling penis. I don't think I have one of those.
Make his favorite dinner often. I don't think I know what your favorite dinner is.
I don't think I know what my favorite dinner is.
Oh, good. So anything I cook.
There we go.
Say please and thank you. That should be polite. Like, we should be saying please and thank you to everybody.
Please, Daddy, and thank you, Daddy.
Yeah. You know it. Praise him in front of his peers.
Isn't that the same as complimenting?
Praise him in front of his family. Like, praise him in front of the children. There are 3 different lines. Those are 3 different lines. There's something about 20
children your family? But now I'm just thinking of you don't watch Doctor Who, so you won't get the reference, but there's an episode where they're trapped in a hotel with the Minotaur from Greek mythology, and he like slowly takes over their minds and like becomes the god that they worship, and so like when people start saying praise him,
Mm-hmm.
it becomes a sign that like, oh, the Minotaur is about to get them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just all these praise him, praise him, praise. I'm just like, oh, gotta watch out for that Minotaur now.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I know you didn't see the episode, so you don't get it. But I assure you, a good chunk of my audience is also getting that reference.
But she has a thing for 25 because those are 3 different items on her list.
Because she has to get to 25.
She has to get to 25.
Yeah.
Write him notes based in truths from scripture, such as, "You are a dearly loved child of God. You are God's masterpiece. You are salt and light in the earth."
Okay, do you know what scripture I want you to write out for me?
You've got donkey penis.
That's the one. Ezekiel 23:20. There she lusted after her lovers, whose members were like those of a donkey and whose emissions were like those of a horse.
I'm glad your emissions are not like those of a horse, dear Lord. Oh, no. No.
Ah, people are saying it's not Minotaur. Minotaur?
I don't know.
I've heard it Minotaur, but I've also heard it Minotaur. And I thought Minotaur was the correct one. Because when I've said Minotaur in the past, people have been like, it's not Minotaur, it's Minotaur.
I don't know, but we're going to praise him again for something specific that he did this time. So before just general praises, now I got to praise you for something specific.
Making you laugh with my funny penis.
Thank you for making me laugh with your funny penis. Compliment him in front of the children.
How is that different from praise him in front of the children?
Oh.
Unless, like, by praise, she actually means, like, Christian worship, like what you were joking. Because I thought that's just a joke. That's clearly not what she means. She just means, like, compliments and shit. Compliment him in front of his family? What?
Make a list of 25 qualities you admire about him.
Sorry, I didn't quite hear that. 25.
Qualities that you admire about him.
That's your solution to everything.
Tell him you appreciate his hard work. Make him a coupon booklet with items that can only be fulfilled by you. I'll let you come up with the ideas.
Yeah, dude, that's her way of saying do sex things, but I'm not telling you sex things because sex things are naughty.
Next chapter. Initiates intimate friendship with
Well, I think
him.
this is the next section.
It is.
This is the next section of the book. Section 4. When did we get to section 2?
I don't know.
You're supposed to tell me when we change sections.
Oh, why? Why does it matter?
I don't know, because we can call it different seasons of the podcast.
Hmm.
Not that YouTube is actually taking podcast things seriously enough to let you break it up into seasons like that, but...
Oh, there's an in-laws section?
There's an in-laws section.
In-laws are outlaws.
Hazardous says, I praise everyone here for being praiseworthy.
Well, thank you. Oh, that's it. We're done. Sorry, guys. Short stream.
It wasn't that short. Okay, if we had started on time, it would be an hour. But we have been going for 55 minutes. Yeah, it's not our shortest.
It's not our shortest.
It's not the big, like, 2.5 hour monstrosity that we did before.
Yeah. Well, she's running out of things to say.
So now every chapter is like, make a list of 25 things.
Yeah, pretty much.
Here's a list of 25 things. At least one of which will be for you to make a list of 25 things. Sorry, it was 26 once, wasn't it?
I don't know. Oh, the next few chapters don't have lists in them.
No?
Oh, wait.
Did you find a list?
25. A list of 25.
A list of 25 things?
Oh, wait. Another list. 25.
Yeah, it's got to be 25. It's always 25. I wonder if she's into numerology. Is she one of these people that's like adding up numbers until they get to 666 and boycotting companies whose logos,
I have no
names, or
fucking
whatever?
clue. No clue whatsoever.
Well, fun fact, the ancient Hebrews,
Is it actually fun?
for me it is.
Okay.
So the ancient Hebrews and ancient Jews and early Christians, they actually really were into numerology. They have a whole system called gematria. Um, and in the book of Revelation, 616 was the, so in the oldest manuscripts, it's not 666, that's the number of the beast, it's 616. And 616 in the gematria corresponded to the letters that would have been Emperor Nero's initials or his title, or I forget exactly what it is, but yeah, the beast of Revelation was Emperor Nero. But modern Christians don't like that because that means that the prophecies in the book of Revelation didn't come true because that's 2,000 years ago.
Or maybe it did, and we're just living in hell.
Well, that actually is a branch of the Christianity, is that we are in the book of Revelation. We're in the end times, but like it's post the rapture thing, like because there, like, you know, the rapture where everybody disappears and only the non-Christians are left. And for some reason, as soon as all the Christians disappear, all us non-Christians just go to war for no reason. Like I feel like having more resources, or like having fewer people fighting over the same resources, would actually increase peace. But what do I know?
So COVID, there were all these mystery deaths.
No, there weren't.
There were all these mystery deaths and bodies that they were burying that we couldn't go and see. And then now...
And Christians did have a higher death rate than non-Christians because they kept on doing things like, hey, let's keep our churches open despite all the government mandates to shut down.
And then we have like the war in Ukraine, and then the girls fighting, or the women fighting for their rights in the Middle East, and then like so many things are happening. It's the end time.
Well, I mean, it's always the end times because part of the signs of the end times are Jesus said there would be wars and rumors of wars. So like literally every time in human history.
We've had the
Also
rumor.
earthquakes. So literally every time in human history.
But have we had the mysterious bodies before?
I don't know where you're getting this mysterious bodies thing from. Because like the Christians are all supposed to have a bodily resurrection where they raise up from their graves and go to heaven physically.
So we have to have zombies first.
Yes.
Okay, good thing I got my
The
zombie apocalypse plan.
the zombie apocalypse is literally a Christian thing.
Okay.
Now, most denominations don't consider that to be what those verses mean. However, my understanding, from what I've read, I think from Bart Ehrman. Yeah, I think Heaven and Hell is where I learned this from. So that's a Bart Ehrman book where he talks about the development of heaven and hell. That the early Christians believed in a literal bodily resurrection. Like they didn't believe that you die and go to heaven. They believe that after the events of Revelation, there would be a bodily resurrection, at which point the dead are judged and will either go to heaven or hell. Christian theology has changed a lot since the Bible was written.
So we're preparing for the zombie apocalypse, is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Okay.
There actually already was a mini zombie apocalypse where just the dead people who lived or who were buried in Jerusalem raised up. That happened when Jesus died. It's like literally 2 verses about it in the book of Matthew, where he's like, and then everybody got up out of their graves and walked through the town of Jerusalem and talked to a lot of people, and lots of people saw it. And then not a single person ever wrote a single word about it except for that. In what is one of the most well-documented centuries of history for that area. Because like there were a lot of historians that were roaming around first century Judea. You'd think one of them would have noticed a zombie apocalypse in the main city there.
Maybe it's because zombies don't look like what we expect them to look like. So they just thought they were people. And because they weren't from the town, they didn't realize that those people were already dead.
I don't know. I feel like they would have heard stories from people that were alive and been like, oh yeah, this friend of mine was dead and now they're alive again. And then actually, the book of Matthew never says what happened to them afterwards. Like, did they go back to being dead later? So this is my theory. You know how there's like a big deal in the Christianity is the empty tomb? So another like archaeological thing about how they dealt with their dead back in that time and place is that people who were wealthy enough to have tombs did not have a tomb per person. It was, this is your family tomb
Right.
that you get buried in when you die. So if Joseph of Arimathea had a tomb, Jesus wouldn't have been the only guy in the tomb. It would have been Jesus and a bunch of Joseph of Arimathea's family. Um, and so I feel like Matthew might have invented that little zombie apocalypse thing while Jesus was dying to explain how the tomb that he was being put in could be empty.
Someone's talking about zombies and leprosy. There's a woman on TikTok called Piper. She talks about that from a mythological standpoint because she has her master's in mythology. I really like her.
Okay.
Go check her out.
There we go.
And she talks about how zombies were probably just people with syphilis.
Syphilis is one of the STIs that can hit your brain really hard.
That's the one. Yep.
Okay.
And she's really fun.
Oh yeah. Also, this is not a majority position among scholars, but some, I think it's Richard Carrier, have suggested that Arimathea, when you translate that out of, I think it's Aramaic, it basically translates to best disciple town. So Joseph is, like the guy who gives up his tomb for Jesus' body is literally named Joe of Best Disciple Town.
Very creative. Everyone's so creative.
You referencing those TikTokers again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that's not a consensus position, but that has been floated, and it does make kind of sense.
They're asking if they're supposed to be Jesus' uncle.
Is Joseph of Arimathea supposed to be Jesus' uncle, or was that another Joseph? I want to say that was Lazarus, wasn't it? Wasn't Lazarus related to Jesus somehow? I don't know. Joseph of Arimathea, it says, was a member of the council. So that's why, like, whether that person existed historically or not doesn't really matter to me. But the idea that he would be a member of a council who the Bible says unanimously voted to execute Jesus, and then he would turn around and be like, "Okay, I'm gonna give this guy that I wanted dead my family tomb."
Unless Jesus paid him to vote that way so that he would be crucified. And be like, but I need somewhere to stay after that.
I don't know. That's just... So yeah, if we get a little theology lesson. Or not theology. History? Because it's not really theology, because we're not talking about actual theology. We're talking about like the history of beliefs of ancient people and historical documentation. I don't know. I don't know what field of science we're talking about right now.
Joe was a used tomb salesman.
Yeah. All right. So thank you for joining us. Until next week. No, that's not it. See you next Tuesday.
There you go.